What are we going to do about this? Somebody just said pandemic and these vaccines. Do you see a real threat? My own congressman said, don't worry about it. It won't happen in Massachusetts.
Well, Massachusetts? Oh, good mother of God. The People's Republic of Massachusetts has just had enacted by the lower house and not yet by the Senate legislation that would allow police to break down your door and to inoculate you against your will. If the Senate has passed it, that's happened in the past 2 days and I'm unaware of it. I mean, that would be blatantly unconstitutional. I mean, the Supreme Court has already written cases that have stated that among your natural rights, like life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, speech, religion, self-defense, privacy, due process, among those natural rights is the right to control your own body. So just as you can refuse an order from your own doctor, you can refuse an order from the government. No government, no matter what its motive, can compel you or can compel your children to receive medication that you don't want. Period. End of the story. That's the law.
Judge, friends of mine use the general welfare clause as the description to say Congress can do anything. How do you explain to people and define the general welfare clause?
There's two references to the general welfare in the Constitution. The first is in the preamble, in order to provide for a common defense and promote the general welfare. And the Supreme Court has ruled that the preamble is just a statement of goals. It's not an authorization to Congress. The other general welfare clause is in the first of the authorities given to the Congress, and it's not a grant, it's a restriction, by which I mean it doesn't say Congress can legislate for the general welfare. It means that everything Congress must do has to enhance the general welfare of the United States of America. It can't grant things to individuals. It can only legislate for the government. So anybody that claims that the general welfare clause allows the Congress to give away welfare has a profound misunderstanding of the history and of the Supreme Court interpretations of those clauses. Sir.
We in New York State, through primary challenge, have taken the second paragraph of the Declaration of Independence to heart, and we are presenting across the state Project 2010, which is the abolishment and replacement of New York State government through referendum citizen vote. And we have a couple legal advisors and have done this as professionally as possible, and I'd like to know if you can possibly offer us some advice as far as, is this American courage at reclaiming our government or otherwise?
Well, it depends what you want to replace the New York government, New York State government with. You could probably replace it with the first 2,000 names in any phone book, and they would be more reasonable than the legislature. But the Constitution does require that the states have Republican, lowercase r, forms of government. So you can't replace it with well, it already has a dictatorship. You can't replace one dictatorship with another. I'm sorry for being a little snarky. You would have to replace it with a form of government acceptable to the Constitution, which means the people electing representatives and there being three branches of government: executive, legislative, and judicial. Good luck to you.
The Constitution is not a complicated document. It doesn't take up anywhere near as much space as the Patriot Act or Health Care Act or anything. Why not mandate that the entire Constitution be read and kept in context before any phrase is taken out and used as a guidelight for some crazy legislation?
You know, I had someone on Freedom Watch the other day whose name is escaping me, but who is the head of an organization which is promoting legislation that would require that members of Congress read statutes and read the Constitution and identify where in the Constitution the Congress gets the authority to enact the statute and certify under oath that they have done so. Sir.
Thank you, Judge, for coming here and giving us always informative and entertaining comments. I just wanted to know, when are you going to declare yourself a candidate for the presidency of the United States?
Well, You had here last night the Thomas Jefferson of our day, and his name is Ron Paul.
That should be easy to follow, I guess. One quick question. You had mentioned the states being able to nullify things which encroached on their sovereignty from the feds. Could you just expand a little on the process to do that?
Here's a contemporary example of nullification that actually would appeal to a lot of the people in the Obama administration, and that is and I don't say this flippantly because I am ardently in favor of this myself, though not for my own use, and that is the legalization of marijuana. If the state of New Jersey, for example, were to legalize it for all purposes, it would cost the federal government far more to resist that than it could possibly devote there. And then that would spread like a wildfire to other states. So states with courage can nullify federal statutes, and eventually the feds would get the message. Thank you. Shortly before he died, in one of his last letters to his adversary, John Adams, the greatest of our American presidents, Thomas Jefferson, said this: "When the people fear the government, that is tyranny. When the government fears the people, that is liberty." God bless you.